Oh, I'm always tired.
Getting
That's my
there.
life. I live in an exhausted life. Constantly tired.
I have one daughter, Evelyn, who is 21 months old.
I've got two boys, Dylan, who is 6, and Jensen, who is 4. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do my bowel management routine and showering. Day ends around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Quite often, sometimes Mummy's more exhausted than the boys.
Our days are quite flexible in that I don't get up at a certain time. If I get to the point where I need a shower, then Evelyn will come have a shower with me. If I need to go to the bathroom, then if she's not sleeping, we'll take a couple of toys and she'll sit there with me as well. So I've, so far, you know, until we get to school age or kindy age, left things quite flexible both with myself and with Evelyn because neither of us are predictable, me nor her.
I have had times where I've not necessarily had a bowel accident because I've got a bit of sensation. I can actually feel it coming, but I have had to jump on the toilet. I'd sometimes take the bassinet in to the bathroom just in case he was going to cry. As a mum, hearing your baby cry like that is quite distressing, and I was just like kicking myself going, why do I have to, have a bowel accident or a bowel movement now, even though I'd already sat on the toilet earlier that day. So you just kind of have to just work around it and just do the best that you can.
Of the last almost 2 years, I've had a few times that I have been at home with Evelyn, with nobody else around, but I have been very fortunate to either have Luke, my partner, friends, family, while I've had Evelyn, so that I've known that there's support there. Some of the day-to-days of feeding and dressing and all of that can be a little bit difficult. I will certainly leave a button undone if it comes to that, but zips and snaps are a lot easier. Getting bottle tops off can be a matter of getting a sticky mat so that I've got that grip rather than using my hands.
I don't have a lot of core ability being a T4, so I'd put a strap around me to be able to put the baby in the car seat. It helped with my balance having the strap around my middle. The breastfeeding pillow was a lifesaver for me, I think, and it would stabilise the baby, and then I was able to try and do the latching on.
I did have to figure out a way around changing a nappy with limited hand function, which just pretty much involves using my right hand for both sides rather than my left. But also using equipment like a pillow for resting Evelyn on, either when I was holding or feeding. Actually borrowing Evie's bath bench to pop the bath on so that I could assist bathing Evelyn, which I also couldn't quite do by myself just because of my hand function. We had a cot made specially for us, so it was raised on stilts. Rather than using a standard change table for changing nappies, we used a desk with a change mat on top, just because I could roll under the desk to be able to put the baby up to be changed. When I first had the baby in hospital, I sort of had to just kind of work out baby's feeding routine and stuff, and I've worked out that if I got up at a certain time, that I could then do my bowel management, and if the baby would cry, Kristen would bring him in for a feed if I was on the toilet still. We just made the most of what we had, but also Luke gave a lot of support, being my partner, my carer, Evelyn's father, Evelyn's parent, and sometimes picking up the mothering too. We did a lot of mixed feeding with using formula along with breastfeeding, just sometimes out of ease, but also to make sure that she was getting, the best that she could. They run off more now, particularly Dylan, who's 6. He runs off and I have to yell and scream at him to stop him from running. So yeah, it's hard because obviously I can't run after them, but you use your big loud voice. That's what I've found. People are always like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're heading out on your own. I can't believe you get yourself and the kids in the car. And yeah. As Evelyn gets older, hopefully we'll be able to head out on her own. I'm not actually driving at the moment, still yet to get back behind the wheel, but that will also come at a time when Evelyn can help me by getting herself in a car seat or helping with her buckle. Not that I want Evelyn to forever have to be helping her mum, but just hopefully that she'll have a nature where You know, she wants to be of assistance to everyone around, not just me.
I really feel that I think as a parent with a disability, your children are more accepting of differences and differences in people.
I'm very open, I guess, and will be when Evelyn grows up and her friends are asking the same questions, to explaining, you know, yes, I use a wheelchair to get around, you know, because my legs don't quite work, or depending how old they are, you know, explaining this is why you need to be careful in the car, this is why you can't distract mummy.
Whether you have a spinal cord injury, a disability or whatever, it's just a fact of life that, you know, once you become a parent, your time is not your own anymore.
Yeah.
When I found out that I was pregnant with Jensen and Dylan had only just turned 1, I was a bit stressed going, oh my gosh, how am I going to do a toddler and a newborn in a wheelchair? But I did it, I made it work, it's possible, so yeah.
I was actually completely appreciative to have been introduced to Evie not long after my accident. So within 3 months of my accident, I'm going to get a little emotional here. Within about 3 or 4 months of my accident, my life being thrown upside down, being newly engaged, studying at uni, to being lying in a hospital bed, not able to walk, I was introduced to Evie and I was shown that it can be done. That you can be a mum in a wheelchair, you can be a person in a wheelchair and live life to its fullest, which it's incredible to have peer support in any way, shape or form.
Sometimes we do feel alone in what we're going through. Sometimes we need that empathy, we need that understanding. It's invaluable, like, just to know that there's people out there that completely understand you.
It's nice to chat to somebody else and be like, has today been as tough for you as it has for me? Sharing the highs, sharing the lows.
Nothing can compare, particularly for seeing your child for the first time when they're, you know, given to you. Like, it's the best feeling in the world, even though sometimes I go, why have I done this to myself? With the boys, they can be quite frustrating, but it is worth it, you know, particularly when they come and say, I love you, mummy, you know, it really does melt your heart.
Whether it's good or bad or tantrums or smiles, it's an amazing experience.